Good morning, my friends. Today we're going to be talking about the Matrix. So I was talking to my friend yesterday and I was asking them about their emotional experience and like whether the outside world was dictating how their emotions are going. And then they ended up asking me, oh, like, did I disconnect from the Matrix? And so I had to explain to them, like, you can't really disconnect from the Matrix unless you suffer ego death. So ego death is basically like yourself, your I, when everybody says, I am this, right? Very powerful statements. This is like part of manifestation, but the I, every time we say I, that's our ego. So there's our inner self and then there's the ego. So the only way to really disconnect from the Matrix is to have ego death, which you can get from, of course, like going into a coma or, taking some type of mushrooms or something that basically makes you get rid of this sense of I. And the thing is, the Matrix is, it's internal. Like the Matrix is more like inside of your head. So there's a social matrix and then there's the internal matrix, and it's all, of course, connected together. So the social matrix, you cannot disconnect from the social matrix because we're all working together. And the only way to really disconnect from the social matrix is if you become self-sustaining in everything. That means like you have your own food, you have your own water, you don't have your neighbors, blase blase. That's the only way to disconnect from the social matrix, because everybody's always working for the collective, right? Especially nowadays, we're all global. Everybody's working within the social matrix. Even me making this video is working within the social matrix. But the internal matrix, the matrix inside your own perspective, right? Because when you go through your day-to-day, everybody is in their own version of the matrix. You cannot really get away from that unless you go inside yourself. So meditation, especially deep meditation, all that requires solitude. So solitude isn't just going into the forest, right? You can go into the forest, but if you're always thinking about your family or you're thinking about what's going on outside, it doesn't matter that you're alone, you're not in solitude. Also, you could be in solitude, say you're in the middle of the city. If you're in your room and you're meditating, and you are in solitude at this point in time. And this is how you can get away from or not get away from, but more, you don't let the internal matrix dictate what you're doing with your life. And I hope this is an easy way to explain how the matrix works, that it's working all the time, and that you can't really escape from it, but you can transform it.